Yeah, and what's interesting to note between these two teams is their agent selection. It's actually exactly the same. So it's all going to come down to which team is going to pilot their team to victory here. That's all it's going to be. So right now we're starting on ascent right here. Look at that. The arrow comes through here through tiles, and we're smoked off here to obscure some sort of vision right here right now as they're just sort of deciding where to go. Most of the attacking team right now here of Loud is just sort of situated here outside B, and they're trying to go through main, but these shock darts are just going to prove to be really, really difficult here. And the KO dart, while spotting no one, is still a lot of util being dumped right here to prevent them from making that fast push on a site.
Yeah, Crashies with his shock dart was really vital in this starting push, right? Three members of Loud already down to about half health, but Victor coming through with the ghost and leads to a Prime Gaming flawless for Optic instantly.
No way. You love to see it, man. That's why we see so much Ghost being used here in these pistol rounds, right? All you need is if they don't have any armor, it's just a single tap to the head, and that was just expert precision. I'd like to bring up as well, we are here sponsored by Aim Lab, and you absolutely know that Victor has been putting a lot of time into that Aim Lab to make these shots happen, and Yay here with the assist too, cleaning things up right there with those two really nice sheriff shots to clean out the round. And I think that first round, it's always like this with pistol rounds. It sets the precedent, right? So already 1-0, and they're going to have a lot more stuff here with Spectres and Marshals. They're going to have the economic advantage.
Yeah, and a lot of this comes down to who's going to have the better aim and who's going to have the better reaction time. Victor really proving right here in the start of this round two that even though he has a SMG with that being the Spectre, he's still got it even when it comes to a pistol.
No, for sure. Right now, Loud, though, down one member right here as Aspes kind of just caught up through all that madness there with the Molly and the Cubby right there. So it's going to be 4-5, but I think they still have intention of pushing through onto A site right now. They're going to be holding a crossfire here to just sort of like prevent them from wanting to push up a little bit. They haven't deployed their smokes just yet. They're just sort of waiting for that moment. Oh, quickly tried to get the jump, but Optic Marv did just one step ahead. Going to make it really tough for them. And look at them now. They're just sort of stuck here at the choke.
Yeah, Marv did a really good job of sitting in that corner, waiting out his time, still able to get off that smoke, and was able to have just enough reaction time to be able to take out Pancata and take down the Omen utility. A little bit less smokes is going to prove really vital for Optic here, especially when it comes to the ability to hold this site.
Yeah, that alarm robot went off and notified them that there are some here in tree, and that nice frenzy shot, that headshot right there is going to take out Marv. But of course, look at the firepower here from Optic is just way too strong right here to expect them to, clutch this out here with a classic and a frenzy. That's a lot to ask for here. And we'll see how this plays out.
Yeah,
Nice
Ye being able to get the flicks that he needs. Missed the first shot of the player coming through that A door, but he was able to get the nice jet dash off, and then was able to find the second shot that he needed. And get, of course, he had his buddy cleaning up for him on A site. Just a really clean round from Optic as they go into round number 3.
Yeah, Loud actually going to be buying up here on this one, considering that they did lose that pistol. I wonder what that's going to, speak for this upcoming round here against Optic, right? Having all these rifles. So I want to see what plays out.
Yeah, I think Ye, if he can land one headshot here, especially right here off the opener, I think it could prove absolutely vital and potentially sway this in their favor. But he is going to lose the 1v1 against Sassy and is going to get caught out.
Yeah, that's a rare sight to see when you think of Ye. You usually think of him as the 1v1 master, right? He always takes those aim duels and usually comes out victorious. But in this situation, that's not going to be the case, as Loud's going to be pushing through. Look at this, Marv hiding nicely up in that cubby, just trying to make them really cautious about wanting to push the smokes. That's what's so beneficial about the smokes. But with smokes comes pop flashes, and there's a lot of madness happening right now as Aspas just barely gets out alive with only 21 health to their name. So man, they have to tread very carefully, otherwise it's not going to end well for Loud here.
I expected that second sheriff shot to actually come through from Ye and from Victor, but Victor proving that his pop flashes are going to be one of the most useful things in this entire game, was able to catch Sadhawk off of his own pop flash, because Sadhack was ready to throw out another flash, but it led to a little bit of a Victor battle for him.
Yeah, you see that nice spray transfer there from Victor? That was really good, and there's currently a fight happening right now, but they're going to close the door here because they got to get that spike down. They're going to put it in front of Jenny, but look at this. FNS gonna sneak up behind them. Did they even know they were up there in heaven? And that's gonna be beautiful stuff right there from FNS just to clean that out. And a spike defuse from Optic, keeping their lead here 3-0 right now in the first map.
I just don't think that they knew FNS was up in heaven at all, or like they didn't even have the comms to really call that out. He was able to just lurk through the back of spawn and just right up heaven ramp, and Loud had no idea. They had no idea that FNS truly can sneak on this map.
Yeah, for sure. And as you can see, like with all these kills that they were able to get with these specters, they're able to like upgrade to like full rifles off of them because Loud bought up, right? So now we're seeing the like inverse effect of what we saw last time with Loud having the low econ here as Optic has the rifles now.
So. Yeah, I think this is probably going to be a pretty easy cleanup for Optic as they're proving that they can easily take these rounds and take any kind of space that Loud looks to get and just are able to hold their ground so easily.
Yeah, Loud has their foot on the gas pedal right now. Even that Nano Swarm, which is going to try to prevent them from pushing, they waited it out, and now they're already here. And there's so much madness right here. FNS and Crashies are just kind of just stuck here in Boathouse, just sort of like having to fight off all of the pressure here from Loud, and yet you just run on in there. No even need for crazy accuracy. You can just run in there. That pressure's too much, and the spike is down as well. So it's just going to come down here. Loud has to get the spike. Nice.
However, though, Les has himself an actual weapon now. He's not stuck with something that's on eco. Finds himself getting pushed back into Boathouse with each side of Optic on each side of the shed. This Killjoy looking to come out and maybe trap off some of them. So they both need to move into this Boathouse really easily. But Marv easily able to pick up on Les and get the round win for him.
I don't know if I was kind of enjoying the use of that ultimate right there, given that when you plop that ult down, right, they sort of know where you are, and they were just able to just sandwich them through the two openings. And of course, as we know, in a game like Valorant, right, typically when you want to take aim duels, if there's 2-1, it's very hard to come out on top right there, and that's what we saw here. So expert team play here from Optic as expected.
Yeah, I think Marv's smoke did a really good job of setting up FNS to be able to come, or set up FNS to actually come in and clean up Les pretty easily. However, I think Les, the Killjoy coming down was probably the only thing he could have done, right? It was able to get the locations of each of the Optic members to know if he was going to be sandwiched. But I think the smoke from Marv proved vital in that fight before he went down in the fight.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Marv, he's kind of holding this here. He knows that there's a lot of movement and activity as they're all really bunched up here at A. It's just once they make themselves known by pushing through the smoke, it's going to be complete madness if they decide to push here. Here comes the pop flash. They're going to Omen Blind as retaliation, but still, and the turret, it's going to be there hidden in the smoke, but still, it's going to be out there. And what I thought was going to be them rushing in onto site is them actually faking them exploding onto site. They're just kind of waiting, right? That's a big part about Valorant, right? You want to wait out that util, and that's exactly what they're doing here. So it's nice to see some more patient play here from Loud.
I'm surprised that all this util has come out, right? I would expect maybe they use up all this util and start this fight coming out with all these different ultimates, but I expected the fight maybe to get pushed over to B, but this fight over on A is really swinging in the favor of Loud.
Yeah, like it was the calm before the storm, right? I was expecting them maybe to do a rotate, but they decided to push all up in here, and now it's just Ye holding their own to try to see if they can continue to have Optic hold the lead right here. It's a 1v2 situation. The op's in Ye's hands, and now it no longer is because Sasi there is going to be able to take that round. And that's going to be the first round here for Loud.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely vital that they won that round, right? They got the op out of Ye's hand, and even though Ye still has the Blade Storm to come up for, Ye, if he has, correct me if I'm wrong, if he has that op in his hand, he's usually pretty deadly with it if he's able to keep that for multiple rounds.
Oh, no, absolutely. And if you have a dash on hand too, it's going to be really, really hard to retaliate even if he misses a shot, right? Those two go together like peanut butter and jelly. Jet's dash and the operator, right? Oh, look at this right now. Loud trying to push up through here, create some tiles presence right now as Ye just kind of decides to use Blade Storm there and get a really nice pick there on Pankata. That's going to be one down for Loud.
Pankata was only able to get one smoke out of that utility usage, so they're down the smokes, and they only have the 2 to operate off of the jet. That's absolutely vital that Ye was able to find that pick early on.
Yeah, for sure. I'm wondering if FNS was priming to put down the ult, but I don't really think so. Yeah, here it is. I saw the animation, so we'll see how that plays out. Sad Hack, though, just kind of waiting here over at A lobby, just sort of waiting to see what's going to transpire. You'll have to also use that Molly, absolutely, to clear wine, right? You don't want to have anyone hiding back there. And clearly, that information tells us that no one is there. So I think that gives them the opportunity to just come right onto site right here. Yay, though. Just holding onto this Blaze Storm, trying to make things happen. Oh, yeah, okay, nice. Good stuff from Ye there
He's
to
able to
get the 1, get the 2.
he's able to get the clear onto Aspas and Sadhawk, or Sadhack, my bad, and he's able to find the shutdown of Aspas with that ult. So I think that's absolutely vital, with Les being able to also put down the Killjoy, puts Loud into a really uncomfortable situation.
No, for sure. Spike goes down right now. And that's just, yep, the defender Killjoy. It's going to just force them both to the back of wine right here. Start the defuse. Maybe we can get it to half, or not even. We just get that 1 pick, and then how do you get, yeah, that's it. It's just such a difficult thing to tackle right there. Even though the spike was planted for them to fight from it from wine, there's just so many targets there to be able, and it being like Killjoy there, it's just kind of hard. You don't really have that util to sort of separate them or to blind them or anything like that. So that would just have to come down to raw aim, and honestly look like a checkmate situation here, as once again, Optic showing their dominance here. What do you think has to change, or there needs to be done, or what are you just thinking overall?
I think if Loud is able to get this util out early and force Optic to maybe use that Killjoy in a really bad situation, right? Use those frags or use those defender turrets. I think if they can shut down that utility early on, it could prove absolutely vital for Loud on these early rounds and on holding sight, right? We know Pancata can use those smokes early on in engagements and block off maybe mid, maybe block off heaven just a little bit to keep Ye from being able to peek with any kind of op or being able to use his ult to his advantage. But if Pancata and all of them can use these smokes a little bit more effectively, I think it's absolutely huge for him.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely vital, I think, right now. And look at this. They're just sort of sitting back at Boathouse because I think they know that, Loud and the whole team there are going to try to want to make that push here. And look at this. Yeah, I really like the use of these KO darts as well, because you were talking about nullifying Killjoy's utility. That's exactly one of the ways you're going to want to do it. Dash on a site right here. Oh, look at that. Let's just gonna do as Ye's gonna be able to get that pick right here. There's just so many of them that Ye can take down. And oh my goodness, look at that! It was just that easy. It looked almost, I wouldn't say insurmountable, but that looked like it was gonna prove to be a challenge there for Optic. But no, nonetheless, they're gonna be able to take that round and continue with their, like I said, their dominance.
I'm pretty sure Victor threw a flash over the shed and was able to find 2 members of Loud on the pop flash over the shed, and that led to just an absolute dominating performance from Optic, right? See, FNS was able to find out Pancata, and he was able to find the Sova with his back turned because they were so worried about the other members coming from the other side of the shed and weren't even expecting the flash from Victor. An absolute textbook example of how Victor and FNS can play together. And it's going to be a nice Loud timeout right here, as they need to go ahead and look at some new strategy right here.
Yeah, but the score being 1-6 for them, I think they just really need to re-strategize and see. It's all about kind of like understanding what Optic's game plan is and then countering it, right? So that's why you need a bit of a timeout situation, just sort of wait to see what sort of strategies you can develop against them. Seeing some sort of what habits you can pick up, where agents are playing, how much util they usually dump. Like, there's just so much to it. And sometimes taking a little bit of that breather to give yourself some time can allow you to get that mental refresh as well. And, try to, swing this map back in your favor, right? It's Valorant. Things can happen. You can always make comebacks.
Yeah, and if anything, I expect Sad Hack, especially with the ult coming up online, I think they're going to be a little bit more aggressive coming out of this timeout, right? The Pancata ult's up as well, able to teleport anywhere across the map. And I think they're going to take this advantage and probably do a little bit of a sneak, right? As you can see on the map, it's a lot of split right? Two members are setting up for B and two are set up for A. I think what they'll probably do is they'll set up here in mid, create some of these mid-present fights that they're looking for, and then they're going to try and push into the side. But it looks like Optic are just able to read the play, knock them out early on, and set up any kind of awareness in the midfield for them.
No, Marv, definitely, that was fantastic. Starting off with the flash and just and mollying the back corner there to get Jet. That was just textbook example of just excellent play there from Victor. Excuse me, not Marv. But yeah, no, yeah, here with the off, just trying to see if there's anyone in the sight line that they could take out. But what they don't know is that the spike is actually rotating. Saucy's deciding, hey, let's take this to B. No sense making any push to A because they're already there, right? And honestly, we as casters and for you guys as viewers, we know that there's not a lot of people on B. So maybe if, Loud gets that sort of intel as well, they can try to push in there carefully. But look at this. 2 nanoswarms right there on the choke, as well as Ye positioned right there at the market doors just to be able to get that op shot, but it's going to end up whiffing.
However, though, Ye's able to get the smokes down and is able to easily retreat away, let some members of Optic converge back onto B site. It's going to let Victor be able to come around back of spawn and set up for this. Ye going to go ahead and miss out on a shot, trying to see if any of them are going to come from Shed. But Crashies is in the corner, able to take down 2. Ye's able to take down 1, and it's going to be an easy cleanup for the members of Optic.
Oh, yes. See, the thing with Loud was they were so fixated on Ye as the primary threat, because why wouldn't you, right? It's Ye with an op, of course. But that allowed it so that Crashies can kind of just play on site on top of the boxes to create a crossfire that you normally wouldn't expect, because, of course, you need to get the jump on the op, right? Literally the jump. We saw them jump, right? But then that crossfire set that up so perfectly. And this, again, allows Optic to hold their own here. It's insane right now. 7-1. That timeout, you think it'd prove to get them that next round, but we'll try to see what they can do here moving forward.
Yeah, and we're starting to see a stack of economy going away for Optic, and some of the members of Loud stuck with sheriffs and stingers in hand. But this could prove if they can land a couple shots, Loud could potentially take this away from Optic, maybe put them down just a little bit of money, and maybe swing some momentum back in their favor.
Oh boy, speaking of momentum, there's a lot going on right now. There's blinds, there's flashes, and ooh, that sheriff pick, gonna be beautiful. Look at the crosshair placement, but omen to omen, we're gonna see that Marv, they got a little bit of the omen diff right there, as FNS is just gonna be hiding in this smoke, trying to see if they can get the jump on someone. Nice, beautiful stuff. There's just 2 left here on site. There's one FNS, not gonna win out on that duel, but going to really put Sadhack at low health. Lots of damage being put there. Spike goes down. It's just down to Aspas in hell, and there it is. That's gonna be it, just like that. And again, Optic, they got it down. Of course, you obviously got to practice your scrims and rehearse everything, but just tell me, Skyther, they look so composed and professional here on this map. What do you think it is?
I think that was an absolute coincidence that 2 members of Loud lined right up for FNS on tree, and I don't even think he realized until he looked at the kill feed that 2 members had actually gone down to him, and that left only 2 members of Loud left over, and it let Crashies and all the other members of Optic know about the A site push. And I think FNS, even though it was an accident of killing 2 members, I think he was the main reason that Optic were able to clean it up.
No, absolutely. Let's see if we're looking and observing at their play right now. They decided, hey, we usually put our foot on the gas pedal. We try to rush these sites down. Let's actually just leave Spike there and just sort of wait and sort of inch forward to take map control, right? Keep it ambiguous as to where they want to go. But, looking at this, they're taking it over on Catwalk and going to try to make their entrance here on Tree. You got to clear all these corners. Someone could be hiding anywhere, but wow, look at this retaliation. Molly's smokes, and it's a one-way smoke at that too, right? You do not want to cross that because they're going to have that visual advantage on you. So this is looking tough, and they say, you know what? Yeah, that's too much stuff. That's too much util. How about we back up and reposition and decide where we're going to go, except for maybe a Sadhack who maybe wants to take some aim duels here. Oh, hold up.
I'm surprised that Loud are actually going and committing back to the site, especially after all the util that came out onto A, but it's going to lead to a giant push in retaliation for all the Optic utility that's come out. Victor coming out of the pop flash from the smoke, and it's going to lead to a nice little kill onto Sassy, but SatHack's going to go ahead and get the retaliation from it. Marv getting the kill onto Aspas as well, taking down some of that smoke utility. Optic still up in heaven, is able to get the kill onto Pancata. A nice Killjoy drone coming out, try and flush out Ye a little bit. It's going to be 1v2 as Loud get a much deserved win on the board for him. Take out Ye, take out the op, and find some momentum finally swinging in their favor.
Yeah, Ye, speaking of swing, Ye did kind of swing prematurely there and just get caught up in the line of fire here. But wow, that was absolutely, like you were saying, a much, much better round right there. That was good. See, I think the patient play really worked out for them, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. I think them waiting for all the utility from Optic to come out on that early round and in that early mid-cap push, I think that was absolutely essential for Loud to wait out. Again, I'm surprised that they went for the A push, seeing as all that utility came out, but I think it was absolutely a great idea in the end to just wait out everything. Maybe even if they took the B push, right? They were able to finally like push some of Optic members out into uncomfortable positions and push them into 1v2s, right? They had the crossfire set up. They had everything set up in their favor.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's just that's purely Victor. That's all Victor, that's all he needed.
Yeah, that was great. And that's why you like kind of like buddy up usually in those situations, right? Pop flash, look away, then you both come out and swing on them. So that's really, really good here. Marv also going to get that blind. It's going to kind of deter them from being there. But, seeing from where that dart was thrown, someone's in the cubby here. And Marv just, sitting in wine, trying to find that moment. Oh, but Ye on the flank with the operator getting two. And can you get a third? Oh, just barely whiff, but that's going to be really tough. There's literally two people coming through. As I say that though, Aspas is able to get the pick onto Marv. Just look at this, Ye being patient.
This is the Ye we expect, and he's able to find Aspas and get the third kill as well.
Yeah, a lot of the times you might find, like, say in your ranked games, someone would have pushed up with that op and try to pick that fight, but we're here at VCT Reykjavik, right? We know that Ye is going to make the smarter, more like, educated play and just sort of be patient and wait for Aspas to make the push. And you just have to retaliate, right? Just hold that op right there. So fantastic stuff. And, as we're learning, if you haven't picked this up already, right? Ye just with the op, it's a menace. You just don't want to deal with it right there. And we're seeing that was a big part of why they were able to continue to take this round and, bring it to 9-2.
I think that also goes to show you that Ye deserves to be a pro player, right? He has the trigger discipline. That's what separates him from a lot of members here in the in Valorant Champions, but in Valorant Masters as well. But if you can manage to keep your finger on the trigger at all times, you can find some people. But Aspas proving that trigger discipline doesn't matter when you have knives.
Yep, that blade storm, and that's the hallmark of all these jets we've been seeing right there, right? Expert use of the blade storm. Oh, I like the idea, to mess up the crosshair placement, allow for the double swing, but I think what it was that Pancata was a little bit slow on that, and they just wasn't able to get the trade. And now we're in a situation here where, oh, look at this, Sassy might get the jump.
Sassy pushing from behind, but it's going to be Crashy's up on the boxes just like a couple rounds ago, and is able to get the unexpected Sassy with the play. I think it was probably going to be a double swing onto Sassy anyways, and it was probably going to be an Optic win on the round, but Optic finally entering double digits here in on Ascent. Crashy's, dude, I have to say that the flick from Crashy's, even he was excited about the play that he just made.
Yeah, I love that. Being on the boxes there, right? You're usually trained to hold like the head height level when you have crosshair placement right there, right? But that's why elevation is so key. To see Crashies on that box make that really, really difficult for them. And yeah, look at this. It's 10-2. I don't know. It's just, I'm really excited. And I hope everyone who's in chat and is watching is really engaged in watching this, because I sure am. Are you?
Dude, I could not have asked for a better first game from Optic. As you can tell, I'm a little bit of an Optic fanboy, but Loud is still proving that they could be a menace, because at the end of the day, Ascent is a really vital play for attackers, right? Optic know how strong they are on attacking, especially with someone like FNS on the Killjoy, able to create that giant space needed on the Killjoy ult and find a lot of potential for Optic, whether it be from those retakes or from the plays onto Tree.
Yeah, no, exactly. And here we are. We're brought to halftime, and there it is. This is FNS. Yeah, and FNS getting the 13 kills as well on Sentinel. It's something you don't often see right here. But these are some of the best moments that we got to see here from this map.
The Victor flicks on Catwalk. It's been Optic flicks this entire game, and the trigger discipline from Ye and the entire team is proving absolutely vital here in this first half.
Yeah, coordination and discipline. Those are the two key words that I'd like to use to kind of describe what we're seeing here right now. So that's really, really good. We're going to be right back into the action within 20 seconds. I can't even wait. This halftime, just waiting here already, just builds this anticipation. I just want to get right back into the match, honestly.
I will say, I think we're going to see a lot more from Loud in this next half if Optic doesn't win this next pistol round. I think we'll see a lot more aggression come out from Loud right here off the get-go, right? We're going to see a lot more utility push from the KO, maybe even a lot of shock darts coming from B site into where the ult orb is in that hallway. If Let's see this, right? If Loud can take away Optic's utility early on, I think it's going to absolutely prove inevitable for Loud to win the round.
No, for sure. And this is what's kind of great. We got to see Optics dominance here on defense, but now we get to see like Loud take their stab at this, right? FNS, they're going to be putting the turret there just to see or sort of clear, see if anyone's just sort of pushed up already. And speaking of pushed up, Omen here is pushed up on A side as well. Marv's just sort of like waiting here in mid just to sort of see. And this is interesting. I'm seeing a much slower push from Optic than I was originally about to expect.
Yeah, and we're seeing a lot of slow play from both sides. I expected the aggression to come out and figure out where
Oh,
they were, but Victor and a couple members of Optic trying to set up for this B push. I think Loud knows this is a B push, but it's going to be Pancata, and Victor goes down in the first fight. Pancata getting that early pick, I think that's huge for it and takes away those pop flashes
yeah.
from Victor.
Victor was the element of surprise, right? That drone saw so many people out in B that it kind of gave Victor the go away to come through. Hey, but losing that duel, I think that's going to just allow Loud to take this right now. None of them have fallen just yet, okay, except for that situation. But it just comes down to Crashies, and Crashies is going to go down. And you know what? Honestly, maybe you should consider a new line of work right now. You're a prophet. You kind of predicted that Loud would do very, very well here, coming back after the round switch and them winning pistol. So good on you for that.
Man, I wonder if that was an accidental key input from Marv on the teleport, but that was not the best Optic performance that I saw from that team, right? A lot of a little bit of misinputs, like I said, from Marv, but it also seemed like there was one from FNS as well. He couldn't get the frag out that he needed onto B site, and it led to him being forced into mid, being forced into Aspas, and putting him in a really bad situation in mid.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think they had the plan, right? But it didn't come through together, execute. And that happens, some rounds rounds are different, but we'll see here. Oh, nice bulldog here from Pincata. Very, very good pick. And I think it's going to make them wary of wanting to swing on this. We don't know if they have flashes or anything like that. Sadhack just going to take it, just kind of push up forward, and look at that, right? So we saw
Prime
the
Gaming
bulldog,
flawless.
right? Yeah, it was Prime Gaming flawless, that's for sure. We saw the bulldog make it them very hesitant to want to sort of swing on this choke, but that's where Sadhack came in, right? Sadhack was able to just sort of also apply pressure by pushing in past the molly and using the Spectre. So great stuff there.
I think what they expected, right? They had Sassy in the back being able to get just a pop-off shot, as well as Pancata with the Bulldog, but they didn't expect Sadhack around the corner and expected him to be able to swing so easily and set up his crosshair placement around the corners to be able to get those headshots that he needed, and was able to find those members of Optic in just the blink of an eye.
And these members of Optic, they got the spike right outside B lobby. They're just sort of waiting. They're sort of making noise here. Saucy's going to throw some shock darts here at these prime locations. Actually going to do a little bit of chip damage here onto Ye specifically, losing the armor as well as going down to 90, so like 94 altogether. So that's going to be interesting. And what this does is this kind of has to make Optic reconsider what Said they're gonna push. There it is again. By the way, the drone to sort of use that reconnaissance to sort of pick out who is chilling here in the lobby, right?
I think what we're going to see, right, is we're going to see a little bit more of a mid push, especially from Victor and from Ye. Try and take this mid fight, maybe even take a little bit of midfield presence over Arches, and try and hold off the doors for B. We'll see probably maybe even a little bit of a B push, but it looks like the spike is actually going to rotate over to A and take all my predictions and put them down the drain.
No, for sure. And oh, okay, nice stuff from Sad Hack. There's going to be one flash, there's going to be a second, but you know what? FNS is going to say, I don't want to be a part of any of that, and it just decides to leave and not challenge that second pop flash here. Ye going to come through. Is Ye going to push this smoke right here? Ye going to have to take out that dart, and oh my god, there's already madness. Is Ye. Oh, okay, so Observer cut away, but I was wondering what happened to Ye there in Boathouse. And, you know, we still notice that he's alive, and nice stuff there from Marv to hold it for the rotate. Very, very good stuff here. This is looking really insane. This round is going crazy.
You know, you called me a prophet, and I'm just saying that, like, apparently I called the mid fight, and I called that the spike would rotate to B. Even after it did rotate over to A, a little bit of chaos coming from mid, though, between Marv and Pancata. Pancata just not going to take the smoke, but Marv, as soon as it goes away, goes for Pancata and is able to get it, but Sassy able to get a nice little trade onto Ye. There's a little bit of a fight between some members of Optic and Loud. It's going to be Marv to try and clean it up, but Sassy is able to find Marv, clean up the round, and put Loud only to a 5-round deficit instead of 6.
Yeah, honestly, like Marv really played a good part there on this, right? Being really, really sneaky, right? Getting those two really unexpected picks there from one out of the smoke and two holding a mid as the rotate was happening, but that still wasn't enough. Loud was just able to hold on, win these crucial aim duels, and be able to take this round. And this is really good. This is the confidence booster I think you need, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. I think Aspas being able to hit his shots, especially with using that Marshall, getting those headshots from the shed, it's absolutely essential for holding that mid control. And he was able to find some members of Optic pretty easily. But I do think that this is a different Loud. They saw the half and they were able to easily clean it up. But Sad Hack, right here off the start on this next round, cleaning up 3 already, and Ye's able to kill him. But that's 3 members of Optic down already.
Yeah,
Make that 4.
there it is. Yeah, Pancata going insane right now. And there's only one remaining. It's just going to be FNS here with the frenzy, right? I mean, we kind of expect this to happen this way when you're down firepower here, economic disadvantage, right? You got a frenzy, but still, we want to see if FNS can maybe get one more pick there, 200 extra creds in the wallet right here. And I love the trigger discipline. Look at this. They have no idea. They're holding.
He doesn't
these.
know.
Oh no!
Pancata able to find him at the last second after FNS knew that Aspas was right down there with him. I think if he was able to clean up Aspas pretty easily right there and take the op out of Aspas's hands, that would have been a vital win for Optic. But man, Pancata got really lucky with his timing there. What did you say?
Oh no, for sure. I mean, this makes sense that Optic wants to take a timeout. That would tilt me if I were in that situation, because I like the idea. We were talking about trigger discipline a lot in the beginning of the map, right? And you know, FNS was going to be the textbook example of that had that worked out. But in this situation, I think maybe you could argue there's a little bit of greed on the side of FNS, right, on Optic, but also just you were saying Pancata just kind of had like that spider sense, that kind of awareness, just to sort of say, hey, maybe we should check heaven. You know, maybe they can go up there, right? And with that was going to be enough. So that definitely is going to rattle Optic. They're up 10-6, so, you know, they definitely have the lead here, but situations like that would rattle you, wouldn't it not?
Oh, absolutely. And I think knowing that Sad Hack pulled the exact same thing that he did into the second round of this halftime, I think that would also rattle me, right? He was sitting in the corner of A site, waiting for the Optic push, and was able to just do that swing yet again and find 2 members of Optic and get an assist on the third, and was able to just rattle them. It set them into a bad tempo off of that round, and I gotta say, Sad Hack is just proving to be an absolute nuisance to the Optic offense.
Yeah, for sure. We're gonna actually see Aspas, by the way, with the op. So we actually get to see the other side, where we get to see Jet with an op from the opposite team. But we're gonna want to see exactly where they're gonna want to push out. We see Spike is actually just it's partner who's holding it. Victor's holding it right now and is going to be rotating through spawn to try to say like, hey, maybe we should take A. But if you notice, there's so much killjoy utility here from Les hiding in wine right there. So many nanoswarms and turrets as well. It's just like, as if they were expecting them to come here.
Yeah, this Killjoy actually sitting in mid, waiting for the rotate to be able to take this mid position and slow down members of Loud. But it's going to be all the members of Optic flushed over into A site. A couple members stuck down in hell while Loud stays up in heaven. Victor getting the plan off and able to find maybe even a little bit of a fake plant, but he is able to get the spike down, and it's going to be a lot of members getting traded out on both sides. It's still going to be Aspas up in heaven, actually, gets the utility out, gets the smoke down, puts him in a better position. This is actually an insane fight, and I don't know who could win this one right here.
Yeah, Aspas is just in a very difficult location. Oh my goodness, what was that? See, Ye had the sight line, but now what I thought would be in the favor of Optic, Loud just held their own. Didn't dash out, hide, tried to reposition. Aspas just stayed up in heaven, holding the op, and then eventually switching to a rifle, right? But just held their own. And even though Ye got many of those nice picks here, especially what you saw here on Les in Wine, and then once again here, on to KO, and then another one there, you would think, okay, well, that's going to be it. But no, instead, Loud takes it and makes this map what looked to be kind of like a wash, and now made it look far more competitive.
Yeah, it's starting to be a lot more interesting, especially coming from Pancata, right? He got the first kill onto Ye, and then was able to pick up the second kill onto Crashies, and Crashies was able to get him down to 30. I expected maybe one more headshot to come through for Crashies to be able to clean up that fight and maybe even back up, and be able to take the challenge with Aspas, but wasn't able to do it.
Yeah, Aspac's able to get rid of Ye with the Blade Storm, because I saw the classic, right? So I was like, oh, he must Blade Storm, right? And that situation, he wanted to open it up and take a like mid control, right? But Ye just got like totally picked out right there. So now we're in a situation right here where I think Loud can make this 10-8, right? Again, firepower advantage here, and it's looking really, really tough right now. They're sort of going to be coming through market, and I think the intention is to take it over to B, but Saucy here with the Phantom just going to hold this angle here, or just come to backside in anticipation of them rushing in, and he's going to be able to take it here. Crashy's going to see if they can spot anything here, but nothing, and boom, there goes down Saucy.
Yeah, Marv pulling it. Everyone of Optic pulling some major headshots right here that are absolutely essential. And Aspas is still only down to 1 HP, but he has the op. He doesn't need any HP. He's able to find Crashies and push this scenario into a 2v2. However, it will be FNS who does get the spike down, and it will be a Loud retake.
That turret there on Speedway as well, just to sort of notify if they're going to go down through there. And oh my goodness, Marv there with the cross. Beautiful stuff. And that's going to be a thrifty, right? This is what I'm noticing, and you need to tell me this, right? At first, I always think to myself, like, oh, like, one team is definitely favored here at this very moment. But then I'm just surprised and, like, baffled because they end up switching at the end. I mentioned that I thought Loud would take it, but no, instead Optic did, right?
I think that was a perfect play for the side of Optic, right? Putting down the Killjoy and pushing members of Loud outside of that barrier, right? They don't want to get caught in it, don't want to get stun locked and get put into a situation where they're basically screwed for the round. However, Marv was sitting right outside of that Killjoy box and was able to pick off Sassy just like that, and was able to call out the position for Les to be able to throw the frag in and get the second member of Optic and finally give them a round win in this second half.
This is really insane here from Optic. Again, this split push, split pressure, making it really difficult here. Saucy going to try to use the drone to see if anyone's there, but to no avail.
And I think that they know that Aspas is holding middle, and that they expect Aspas to be holding middle with an op, maybe knowing that like some utility is going to be up on the board for mid. But Ye and a couple members of Optic are setting up ready for A. They got the Omen to bait out some smokes on B side, maybe confuse them that there is a B push, but we finally see all the utility coming out from Optic, and it'll be the members of Loud who rotate over to A and get ready for the retake.
Yep, and there it is. Look at this. Sada gonna get the one. Oh, but unfortunately gonna fall to the other. And just there's so much madness happening. Marv gonna go down as well too. It's just Crashies and FNS right now, sitting at that usual choke. And oh my God, look at that. They just the wide swing, the Ferrari peak is gonna throw the Oppa user just completely off guard there, and it's just gonna make it really tough here. Crashy's gonna get the spike. It takes 4 seconds to plant. There's more than enough time, and oh no, I say that, but oh wait a minute.
Oh
Oh
my
my
God, he's
yeah,
able to he's able to get the kill that he needed, and he's able to get the plant down, and it's gonna be a round win for Loud. Wait, he was planning that.
yeah,
I didn't know the spike. I completely forgot this is the mechanic that the spike has to go down even if you're planning.
yeah, no, for sure. Like that's the thing, right? I think that Sova, the Hunter's Fury, was so crucial there because it just made him have to reposition, try to replant. And you know, if you've been playing Valorant for this long, right, you know the timing of how long it takes to plant, and that's why the door broke. And there it is. There came through. You know, someone from Loud, but he just got eliminated right there. But the whole point wasn't necessarily to win that fight; it was to get him off of the plan. And so that was a really good play there from Loud.
Yeah, I think getting the rotation for Loud, Sassy was just able to really stall out so much time, like you said, with that Hunter's Fury, and cause so much unawareness for the members of Optic, and it proved in his favor, especially the door break, even if he knew that he was going to lose that fight. But a lot of members of Loud absolutely proved vital in that fight, and are proving vital right here in the first half of this round.
Oh my goodness, and Ye too. You know what's crazy thing is because Ye and one of the members of Loud, they crossed through the smoke and passed each other. So of course, with that in mind, you wouldn't know that someone get through. And Ye kind of sneaked his way onto the site right here, and just right now, you know, with the plant down, yeah, no, it's just looking proving to be very very difficult here.
A
Pass,
lot of
pass there,
members.
nice. There's the spike down.
Oh yeah, a lot of members of Optic go down in this early engagements, but it'll be up to Ye. But unfortunately, gets his back turned, and Sassy's able to find the back of his head.
Oh no, for sure. That's right. Yeah, no, I can't believe what I'm seeing right here. We're now 11-9. What I thought would be like a really fast first round, and we can immediately talk about the next map. It just keeps going. Like, hey, see, that's the situation there. The Blade Storm, Aspash just sort of sitting there, getting that nice pick with the Spectre. I wish my shots with the Spectre, you know, killed at that range, but you know that I'm not here at VCT, so I can't say anything. But that was really nice here. And look at all these people here excited, cheering on their teams. You love to see the camaraderie and the sportsmanship there. So good stuff.
Yeah, we love to see members of the Green Wall and members down in Brazil for both teams come out, and it will be a nice little bit of a battle, especially because I guarantee that we're going to see 3 games. Like, maybe swing in the favor of Optic, but if Loud is able to put one up on the board, I think that there's a great potential that this could go to a 5-game series.
Yeah, and I believe too that even within this map alone, we could see overtime with how much their momentum has keep flip flopping back and forth. Right there, it is nice pick there. Marv going to be able to take down Aspas, but so both jets are down right now. But it's just we're going to be seeing here the spike is heading towards B right now, but there's so much Killjoy utility just sort of delaying their push right now. Marv deciding, hey, maybe I could push through this molly, sneak around. Oh my goodness, the timing. We as casters, oh, okay, there it is. I was saying we as casters can see, but man, for them, they have no idea, right? That smoke really is obscuring the vision, and Crashies gets the plant down.
I think Marv's rotating into the B Hall connector. I think is absolutely vital, right? He's able to hold off this area and maybe flush out some members of Loud and go ahead and take off this thing. And Marv's able to pick up the 4th kill. The question is he going to be able to pick up the ace, or will Crashies find him? And it is going to be Crashies, and Marv gets his ace stolen.
Yeah, I think it's less damaging to have your ace stolen in a game with this much at stake, right? You mentioned the prize pool at the beginning. If it's a rank game, you know, that's the situation where it's like, hey, let me get that ace. But there, Crashies is doing what Crashies can as a good teammate, just wanting to secure that round. You don't want any mishaps. You don't want to take any chances or make any decisions that you'll end up regretting in the future, right? So there it is. Look at them being so excited. Good stuff there to Optic. Great round. They're about to potentially take this to it's map point right now, so they can take this if they win the next round.
Yeah, and I expected nothing less from a Loud timeout right here in this moment, so they can finally get some awareness up on the board and come up with a game plan to stop Optic from having this giant momentum push that they needed, right? Marv with the Guardian, oh my goodness. I did not expect that to be on my 2022 bingo card. Because Marv with this Guardian is proving to be a headache for Loud.
Yeah, I mean, like, you think about it, right? The Guardian, cheaper than the Vandal and whatnot. You probably see it as a more inferior weapon, but the greatness of what the Guardian is if you have your mechanics down, your aim fantastic, and you can one tap, it's essentially just as strong as a Vandal. And we know Marv is sitting here at these desks for a reason here at the VCT. So when you put a Guardian in his hands, it's just honestly such a lethal combination, right? So here we are. The timeout's over right now, and within the next 20 seconds right here, we're going to see the match recommence here. 12 for Optic, 9 here for Loud.
And Sadhack is actually going to go ahead and force buy, right? He's going to be stuck. A couple members of Loud are stuck with light armor, as Optic have a full utility in their belt, including all utility and abilities up on the board. So it'll be a really hard push for Loud to be able to defend from Optic's aggression, but I expect a lot of members from Optic try and play for a pick and then play around the pick, whether it be from mid, gets them some mid control and pushes them into B or A, but I think mid control is about to be very vital for this round.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yay, trying to clear all these angles. I love the counter strafing here, just sort of looking, see if anyone's also hiding in logs, just sort of scouting out. And it's also that information, right? You want to potentially see if you can catch if someone's on B, because look at this. There's a lot of commotion happening here on A. But if I, as a caster, am questioning where they're going to go, I can only imagine what's going on in the players' heads, right?
Yeah, and Crashy's able to find Omen. He saw the smoke come out from Pancata, but it's going to be Crashy's who's also able to go ahead and locate Sassy as well, and able to find out two members of, or not Sassy, I'm sorry, Aspas, and know that two members of Loud are going to be over in A site. So maybe they know that a couple members are forced into really bad situations on A, but it's going to be Optic who try and push into the site.
There's so much utility being used here in Tree right now, and even though pushing out of the smoke, you think you get the jump on them, but there was the crossfire being held. Crashy's going to be able to get the plant down as well in that prime spot there, so you can play for long and wine and whatnot. And then Sassy going to be trying to use the recon dart. And look at this, the defender Killjoy ult's going to be used, but in retaliation, Crassy's uses Hunter's Fury to break it. Like, there's just so much happening right now. They're going to try to swing out. Ooh, successful swing, by the way. Going to be able to swing up in heaven, and we're seeing this again. We saw how good Loud was hanging out in heaven last time. Maybe they can have a repeat encore performance right now.
However, Victor's able to find him out, and Victor able to find the second one and end map 1 for Optic. Swings the momentum in their favor as they go ahead and take a map from Loud. 2 more, and that's it.
Yeah, they got to keep the morale up here. They're doing their fist bumps. They're dapping each other up. They're feeling pretty good about it. And Loud, they are just sort of sitting there thinking about, hey, you know what? That's one map. We have so many more maps to play. And you know what? They're thinking about taking it over onto Bind. So that'll be the next map. So stay tuned, folks.
Yeah, we will go ahead and catch you guys in the next map as well. But I want to go ahead and take a second here to go ahead and look back at that first match, right? This was an attacking, heavy map for both of these teams, right? We saw a lot of A pushes and a lot of A retakes more than anything. And I think my player of the game, right, is probably going to be Sadhack. Even though Loud was able to take the loss on that, Sadhack was doing just an absolute godsend of ability takes on A, and he was able to play off of Sassy's darts just absolutely perfectly.
Yeah, Sadhack, of course, being, the primary flash initiator, right, made so many plays happen for Loud on that team. Now, we could argue Victor did the same, and we know that Victor did the same. Both these KOs are exceptional, but Sadhack in particular was making things really good, using the dart to be able to detect people's presences, pop flashing to be able to aggressively push through all of these, so many Omen smokes, right? And again, the mollies, we saw it to clear out Cubbies, clear out Wine, clear out mid as well. So Sadhack truly did impress me amongst many of these other talented players here. So you know what, I really hope to see Loud, they brought their momentum towards the second half. Maybe they can carry that momentum here onto Bind. So Really good stuff here. But yeah, Sad Hack, fantastic. Good choice
Yeah.
for MVP.
And I know that we also, you mentioned like being able to battle it out for mid and being able to control mid, and Sadhack being able to be that initiator that they needed more than anything. But that was, I would have to say, all down to Ye and Aspas, right? Those two were constantly battling for mid control, whether it be that they had the Blade Storm in hand or the Op. Those two were able to make so much noise in mid and be a nuisance for each other more than anything.
Yeah, because if you have mid, that just like shaves your rotation time in half, right? So to be able to hold that down and make that a threatening space to take was really good. And I think Ye and Aspas served their purpose of doing so very, very well. We saw so many times, right, where they'd have to go to one site, think about it, see all that util being used, rotate through spawn, go around. And in these situations, we saw even some flanking moments, right? We saw Ye coming through and get two crucial picks there with the op and just allow them to take that round. So I think the fact that Aspas and Ye were doing a phenomenal job with their ops or blade storms exactly holding down mid, it really once again helped with them being the cornerstones of their team and helped them play for their win conditions, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And we can't go without talking about that round that unfortunately Optic lost to time, but Sassy, my goodness, able to get the Hunter's Fury off and stall out the spike plant, and unfortunately Crashies was just not able to capitalize off of the momentum that Loud was able to put forward at the very end of that round.
Yeah, because the thing is, right, with Sassy's Hunter's Fury, right, it kind of makes it so that Crashies, has difficulty planting. But if it was just the Hunter's Fury, maybe Crashies could have repositioned and planted and allowed it for that opportune time. And then we know that since Sassy's so far back, that he could just take these one-on-one duels. But, say less to less, less which is hiding behind the door, timing it, and this is what makes the coordination between both these teams so phenomenal. Les actually swung out to prevent it so that Crashies could reposition, and that's how the time went down. It takes 4 seconds to plant. He got off the spike with 2 seconds remaining. No chance to get that plant. And even though he won that aim duel, he ended up losing that round. So it's those kind of plays here from these two teams that makes me realize I'm not surprised that they're sitting in grands together.
Yeah, and I'm sad that Loud do lose the first match. They put up an insane fight, but I believe that Optic definitely had the higher momentum when it came into that first half and was just able to transfer it despite having lost those first couple of second half rounds.
Yeah, I think it was on Loud to sort of adapt and retaliate to what Optic was doing, and that's just the nature of being on attack first, right? If it's an attack centered map and you're the first to attack, you kind of like don't give the defending side a lot of chances to adapt, and that just sort of allowed Optic to sort of snowball and get a lot of those first beginning rounds. Had they maybe lost the pistol or maybe slipped up a few of those rounds easily, I think Loud could have been able to take Ascent, much like Optic did. So, you know.
Well, hey, adaptability is the name of the game, and that is exactly what Loud will have to do on Bind, but that's going to do it for us for a little while here at the desk. We're going to take a little bit of a breather, take a little bit of a break, go get some water. We'll be back for map number 2 later on, so stick around because you're not going to want to miss these two teams battling it out in our grand finals. That is going to be it from Pryde and Skyther. We will see you guys in just a little bit.